Okay, welcome back. Guess who it is? It's Mary. Welcome, Mary. Good morning.
Don't overdo it. Not overdo it.
No, I want to do like all these Koreans now.
Don't overdo it, Mary. Don't overdo it, please. Please.
How's it going, guys?
Very well.
Happy New Month.
Indeed. It's my
Happy
sister's
New
birth
Month.
month. Catherine's birthday
Aww.
is June 29th. Incidentally, the same day as Mike Mexicano.
This is the second time I would
They
say
share the
this
same
here.
date.
What?
And I think that it's very unfair. I went to borrow this suit.
Wow.
People did not notice that I'm looking sweet. Mary came in, I don't even know when. And then the
Wow.
first thing was like, hi, Mary. What about, look at me now.
Okay.
This is a young man is watching at
We've
home.
noticed you.
You've not noticed.
We've noticed
The
you.
Did you
person
also
that borrowed
notice that
the
a new
suit is
watch?
watching.
Did you also notice there's a new watch?
Oh.
Let me just, let's talk about these things now. This is what's up and about.
Lord.
I am what's up and about.
Yes, you are. So, just in case you were wondering, we're looking for a wife for Edgar.
Because he has bought his wedding suit already.
I've paid for the hall. I have everything ready. All that is left is the woman. Your gown is ready.
Wow.
Don't worry. Just come. Just come. The
gown
gown is
is
ready.
ready.
The ring ready.
No,
Everything is ready. Just
God.
come. Just come the way you are.
So, yeah, there's a registration fee. We'll be putting that out. on
0 to
social
100.
media.
Straight up. Straight up.
This is hot cake. This the car is driving.
Now I'm loving
You
this.
see the car is driving.
Oh,
I
God.
understand what's going on.
You have played my trumpet
it's
too
not
much.
the car that does
You have played.
It's the
Zoom,
car that
zoom,
does
zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
Hey,
But really,
Chineke.
speaking of cars,
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on this because, so I saw a post from a particular, I don't know what term to use, a controversial influencer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whenever he posts, I kind of avoid, the topics. But this particular one made me cringe a little because he was talking about ride-hailing apps.
Okay.
And a lot of people use ride-hailing apps on a daily basis. In
Yeah.
fact, probably 2-3 times a day. Now he was making, he was making his comments on what had happened in a short clip where there was a gentleman who was hearing, the two people were hearing sounds of a child crying in the boot of the ride-hail that they were in. So just imagine you're on Third Milan Bridge, for instance,
Wow.
and God forbid you just start hearing a baby cry in the vehicle you're in. First of all, you probably think, is
It's the
this
sound system
is it
or
sound
someone's
system,
phone or something.
someone's phone, or maybe even something spiritual?
Yes.
You're like,
Yeah. What's
hey,
going
are they calling me from beyond, from yonder? You'd be wondering. But lucky for these two gentlemen, they just decided, you know what, park. And the guy parked the car. And he told them to open the boot. They told him to open the boot. And lo and behold, there was a child in the boot
Wow.
of the car.
He willingly opened the boot.
It wasn't willing. It was,
Wow.
they
By
called
force.
people. They called, because,
And he didn't zoom off.
no, he didn't zoom off.
Wow.
So, according to what I heard from the video, I could be wrong. It seems to be his child. It seemed to be his own child that was in the boot, but we just don't know. You can't really see. I didn't follow up with the rest of the story, but the crux of the matter is
See,
now.
I followed up with this story.
Oh, okay,
Alright.
you did?
Do you know the part that I find the most appalling?
Yeah.
The fact that this guy ended up in the police station.
Okay.
And according to the person who brought the story to the fore, he was let go.
He was released.
He was released.
Wow.
Goodness.
So that is the part.
On what ground?
That, oh my
Why was
God,
he
see my
released?
skin.
He has good
As in, do you know what it
on
means?
what ground? Why was he released?
See, the person didn't say.
Okay.
Do you understand? It was not that shared the story. He didn't say why he was released, on what grounds. Perhaps it did turn out to be his child indeed. However, the fact that a child was in the trunk and then the person who had the child in the trunk didn't get punished. What reason? Because you want to use the vehicle to carry people and you do not want your child in the way so they won't ask questions. And you felt the trunk was very comfortable for the child. Child, conchero, child. It's not an animal. Child.
Even animals
in the
go-
boot.
You don't put them some animals in the booth.
It was so scary. So now, there are two different sides to this, obviously. Now, the I can't call it audacity. It's more than audacity. It's I'm just ultimately disgusted with what the guy did, putting a child in the boot. That's one. Then two, ride-hailing apps in general. At this point, you know, in the beginning, they used to tell you, okay, look at the license number, share this trip with someone.
Yeah,
so that they know
number plate as well.
Yes, so that someone knows you're on the way to somewhere, a family member, or maybe the person you're even going to go and meet. Share this trip with someone.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing is, before you leave where you're coming from to where you're going to, tell them to do what?
Open their boots.
Open the boot, oh. Before we leave, please open the boot. Because God forbid if along the way they were stopped by police and police said that they want to see the boot.
That kind of person will put it on them.
Yes, they'll put it on you.
He's going to. He can even claim he was being abducted by you.
Yes.
He could claim he was being abducted and they put the child in the boot so that the man will keep moving. They can claim that he was under a spell. He could claim all sorts of things. So this is where we are at this point. Not only are you checking the license plate, you are not only are you checking the picture of the person. Now you have to tell them to open the boot. If you're a parent out there or you have a friend or someone that rides ride-hailing apps a lot,
you know, I have a question.
Tell them this.
I have a question here. How safe can one get? Because at the end of the day, imagine if it was some chemicals in a bag or some dangerous items in a bag, maybe a gun in a bag, and then you say, okay, open the boot. You see a bag, you're like, okay, it's safe. Only for you to get, stopped by police, and then they say they search the bag and they see a gun. What do you do in that kind of situation? Do you get what I'm saying? So even if you say open the boot, because guess what, this is what happens. You would get another video in another, let's say, 2-3 years, and they will tell you, oh, they found something under the seat of the driver. Do you now say, please, let me check under your seat?
God.
Do you do that moving forward? But the second question I really have, for the owners of these apps, what are they doing about it? There are so many videos online where people come out to complain about certain drivers and how they behave. What are they doing about it? How safe is it to report these drivers and then get a proper solution to this case? Because look at the guy, he has gone.
The
Guess
guy
what?
is gone.
Do you know the craziest part? This guy would probably get another ride on his way home.
Crazy.
He would probably get another ride on his way home and nothing would happen.
And the person wouldn't know that the child was in the boot.
So if they don't put it on social media, if you're not talking about it online, no one knows.
So,
safety is relative. This reminds me of a conversation I had, I think about 3-4 weeks ago, with the lawyer, the one that's very popular on social media. And he was talking about the fact that in Nigeria, there are no records. When things happen, there's nowhere for you, for example, to go check that, okay, this staff you want to employ or this domestic help you want to employ, whether they have criminal history. Things happen and life just goes on. And, I find it very scary, the environment we are living in. And there's a reason I'm finding it very, very worrisome as well. It's because, yes, we know that there's crime all over the world. But one of the things that are used to curb and manage certain situations are records. So when you do not have records, you don't know who you're dealing with, there's nothing you can do about it. You would not see a situation in which a criminal, you hear, oh, he has a history of doing this. Where was it recorded? And so that person keeps swindling different people because there's no way for them to verify whatever it is he's about. Social media even helps to an extent. If you switch your handles or you're known for criminal activities, you are flagged.
You know what is scary?
So there are some apps that are tagging certain phone numbers now. If, for instance, a phone number adds, it'll send a notification to whoever is receiving that that message saying this number has been known for phishing, has been known for spamming.
There's even a spam alert by a particular network provider now.
But you know what is really scary? Is that it takes a moment for a good person to turn bad.
Yes, I agree.
Let me give you a good example. Now, if you use most of these apps, there is a rating system where you rate a performance of a driver. And sometimes when you I always do it when I want to use a ride. I look at the history,
rating,
the ratings of the driver, and I say, okay, 5 star, 5 star, 5 star.
Yeah.
It just takes just one moment. I'll give you a good example. A friend of mine took a ride from the island to the mainland. This guy was super tired. He's a photographer. He went for a show. He was exhausted. He had done a lot, and then he was tired. So he had his camera bag. Now, in his own form of safety, this guy kept his camera bag in front of him, so that he wants to take a rest. He wants to take a nap. So he kept his hand. In front of the bag, and he slept. And then he told the driver, "Please, when we get to my location, just give me a little tap."
Oh gosh.
And I don't know why. And again, this is the right driver or a rider that had great ratings over time, okay? So he had his bag on his chest, and then he had his hand over his bag. And then guess what happened was that the driver saw from the top of the bag, that there were cameras and there were laptops showing from the bag. So what he did was, while he was sleeping, slowly he took out the cameras and the laptop and locked the bag properly.
How? Why?
And then this guy got up, he came down, and that was the end.
That was it.
And then it got to a point where the guys started thinking, did I actually have the camera in my bag? Did I have the laptop in my bag? Just to show you how crazy and dangerous people can be with this.
Wow.
And so what happened? Since it was a ride that was
So he reported, he came out, he reported the ride, but till today, no records from the app, no records from the guy. The guy is also claiming he didn't take anything. He came back, of course, without the laptop and all. So it's crazy.
Scary.
It is crazy.
Now, and then of course
that is one reason why people jack out. Because they are not sure
of security.
Of the security in this country.
See, there are so many things to consider, yes, but you see security. And this is beyond security of, what the police or agencies are doing, but security from even other people. And that's what I usually say about Nigeria and Nigerians and people in general. You are your country.
Yeah.
You can go on and on about all the negatives in your country, but you are your country.
Point. Sorry, Mary, but there's still so many questions that remain unanswered, and the conversation is not one we can finish right now.
Yeah.
Please use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let us know your thoughts on this topic: ride-hailing apps and security. Let us know. We'll be back after this break.